Well, after that slight delay, we are officially good to go now for what could be a return to somewhat prominence. Maybe, possibly. Again, looking over the team that we just finalized. At catcher, we're actually pretty good. I still might try to trade away Corey Lee and Austin Wells. In terms of the upcoming draft as well, which is going to be very important. Again, we are missing a top catching prospect, so we have to look at that. Again, Tristan Casas at first base. We still have some developing first baseman. Fun fact, Bill Patel might be ready by the time he is 30 years old, but we're looking okay there in terms of prospects. Second base, we are aiming for Nick York to be our guy. We do lack a top prospect at second base. We do have a couple of guys in the mix, Torero as well, but I don't know if Nick York's going to be that elite level second baseman. Third base, probably still going to look at moving Nolan Jones and Nick Sjogard. We do have David Chen, but he is going to start the season in triple. And then obviously double A is LOL in terms of high potentials, low overalls. So we could still look for an insurance third baseman. Shortstop, we're good with Marcelo Meyer. Nothing to worry about. And then the outfield. That is still the biggest need. We still don't have like a slam dunk left fielder. Again, if Miguel Dew knew how to throw the baseball, he'd be great. Center field, we got a bunch of dudes, including Garrett Mitchell, who we might also look to move to get a little bit younger. But in terms of prospects there, I mean, Darren Hester's the best option, and he's way down the list. And then in right, we do have Miguel Blay, who I like. So left field, center field, huge needs for us. In terms of the pitching staff, it's honestly not bad, especially with Roger there. Chris Sale was brought back as our tank commander. And from there, I mean, again, in terms of prospects, Antoine Hubbard, Bob Asensio, Jimmy Denton, Evan Huff. We got some pitching prospects. I don't think it's a huge need. We could still look at like the top dogs of the draft. And then relievers, I mean, again, we signed old Garrett Crochet, but at the end of the day, we could still use some help because this is being bolstered. This is being bolstered by older dudes who are Rule 5 pickups. But we do have Andreas Lawrence, who's going to be a rookie this year. I'm excited for him, and Dougie Brown. So, you know, starting pitchers, relievers, it's still a general need, but not our top need. Heading into the season, though, as we always do, the top prospect list. And there was a new number one. We'll talk about that in a second. The new number one is not Hubert Brown. I was just thinking of Dougie Brown. Hubert McDonald of the Houston Astros. And yeah, he's going to be pretty good. He's going to be pretty good. But we have Doug Brown in the top 5, which is awesome. Outside of that, Vince Scruggs rounds out the top 10. So if they're optimistic, maybe I'll be a little bit optimistic. We also have, what about Luis Chavez? Oh, that's right. That's who the Orioles got in the draft last year, right? Yeah, I mean, he's a 76. Look at those mutton chops. The Orioles are gross. They got a lot of people on this list, and if they haven't, it's because they graduated. We do have Bob Asensio, 15th overall prospect in baseball. He is, again, who we acquired for Rafael Devers. So I'm very excited for him. I mean, yeah, the Orioles still have, like, Chris Catt there as well. Obviously, there'll be some very familiar names. Again, the Marlins' former first overall pick, Taylor Sinclair. Looks like he didn't make the majors. A couple more dudes for the Orioles. We have Andreas Lawrence, our new closer, ranked 42nd out of the top 50. So we do have some appearances on the top 50, which is good, which is very, very good. Like I said, I don't know how we'll do this season. Our rankings are still pretty poor. We're a good defensive team and we're fast. That's about it. But overall, still pretty optimistic. And in terms of scouts, yeah, we only have $600 to spend. We're going to keep the same scouts for sure. So our rotation, Whitlock, Roger Rodriguez, Brian Bayo, Kai Bush, and Chris Sale. And the bullpen is long reliever Michael Ellison. You got Lawrence, Genesis Cabrera, Schreiber, Sandlin, and it is going to rock with Garrett as our closer, which is perfectly fine. AAA as well. Worth noting, someone like Antoine Hubbard is there, so we're feeling okay. We're feeling okay. And the lineup as it stands, at least against righties: Mitchell, Meyer, Casas, Corey Lee, Miguel Blay in it right. It doesn't play York against righties, but it does play him against lefties. I'm okay with that. Now, the first thing that we are looking at moving forward is the draft lottery. We have the number 5 pick, presumably, but it could go higher. Again, the top 6 picks are involved in the lottery, so we'll see where we end up. Actually, before we focus on that, I do want to update our trade block. So like I said, Corey Lee's 28. He's got this year and next. We'll try to move him. We do have Austin Wells for a long time. Let's hold on to Austin Wells. But if I can cash out on Corey Lee, I'm willing to do that, depending on if the return is proper. And even Ronaldo Hernandez, just for how old he is at this point. Chavez, too? Depending on how many people will let me add to the block. I want to keep Bill Patel. I do. I'm going to add Hamilton and Valdez to the list, just because if we can get something for them, cool. Make Nick York the main guy. We already mentioned these third basemen were getting added to the list. I am intrigued if I were to add these dudes here, just if the AI is going to offer anything of value to the super low overall guys, because they used to last year, and it's worth seeing if they'll do it again. We got Meyer, we got Tillman. Can add Lugo to the list. Conrad, just to find out. Grant Harris, Dennis we can hold on to. Mitchell, Mesa, Rafaela, Duran. All of those are guys we could move on from, and I wouldn't shed a tear. And then right, we got Blay, Edwards. We want to keep Scruggs, just to find out. And then for starters, Whitlock. Again, we tried to get compensation for him. Nobody bit. But if I could move him out, I would gladly do so. Gladly. And then relievers, John Schreiber, just because of his age. We're not going to seek anything in particular. Offer us whatever. So scouting. Let's do it. As we beat the Yankees twice to start this new season. Let's see what we got. Cody, not really. No, I'm not worried. Diamond Dynasty-wise, I'm not worried about hitting like parallels with anybody. So we do know the bonus allotment's $10 million, but do we know what pick we have is the question. That is the question. Here we go. Number 7. I thought we had the 5th. So it's another year with the 7th overall pick, which isn't brutal. I just haven't been able to tank the team bad enough to end up top 5. So first and foremost, in terms of elite catchers, it's not looking like it. It's not looking like it. There are a couple of guys we can look at. I don't think we prioritize them yet. We do need a top second baseman. And there's a couple of guys in consideration here. Just to check, first base. 1 first baseman projected for that first round, Sergio Samuel. But again, I don't need first baseman. Shout out to Drug Monkey 82. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So Harry Daly, Phil Spanos, father of Jesse, son of Jesse at this point. And we'll also look at Eduardo Brito. All of these guys are projected first round second baseman. We will list second base as a positional need. That is true. The last time we had a 7th overall pick, we got Roger Rodriguez out of it. So that is a totally fair and fine choice for us. Went on a pretty bad run there. All right, Daly. I mean, really, all three of these guys are looking okay through 40 to 45%. The interest level is fucking nowhere, though, for any of them. Let's scout them for another week. Let's scout them for another week. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, 7 and 8. Way too early to tell how we're going to do. Okay, so we have our answer. We can rule out Phil Spanos for the 7th overall pick. That's just not going to happen. Even Brito, it's not looking great for any of these guys. The only second baseman I'd consider is Harry Daly, but we need to know what that overall is. But to be honest, it looks like he could be a B potential guy. That's not who we want 7th overall. So it's not looking too good for catcher and second baseman. We could use an insurance third baseman. There are some interesting players here. There are 2 guys projected in the first round, Jimmy Colligan and Alonzo Hansen. We'll look at them first. And then we'll go to the outfield, since the outfield's our big need. We could technically still look at Sergio Samuel, just to know. Jaco, I'm aware. I don't know if that first baseman would be worth it, you know? But I at least want to know. Because if it comes down to another situation like last year when we took Chen and we kind of missed, that guy could be like, well, he's available, let's try it. And if he sucks, it's not worth it. All right, so we know that Alonzo Hansen's not going to be worth it. Sergio Samuel is not really going to be worth it either. But Jimmy Colligan at second base, we got to keep looking at him. He might be worth it. You can see secondary positions. Yes, obviously scouting report accuracy does matter. And for the hell of it, again, third base was looking pretty damn rough. And even at shortstop, there's only these 2 guys at the top, Roosevelt Leggett and Victor Trevino. I just want to know for sure. And then we're going to focus heavily on the outfield again. That is the game plan. At least trying to, pun not intended, cover all of the bases here, as we're still a below 500 team. Really quickly. Oops. Rotation. Whitlock has struggled. Rodriguez struggled, but not nearly as badly. Bayo's done well. Bush, not so well. Chris Sale's actually returned to form a little bit. He's down to a 73, though. He's in free fall. Okay, so Jimmy Colligan as a third baseman looks pretty good. He does. I think we can rule out Victor Trevino at shortstop. Roosevelt Leggett, I mean, the potential is likely a B. That overall is going to be a little bit down. I don't think we'd take him 7th. I do want to find out a little bit more about Jimmy Colligan. And that brings us over to the outfield. And we start off with these 2, Charles Burton and Kevin Simmons, both of whom are projected in the first round. I want to focus on the projected first rounds first before we start looking for steals. That is, again, our game plan here. Another mixed week of results. 1 game under 500. All right, Colligan's not the guy. He dipped. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Charles Burton's the guy either. Kevin Simmons, we got to find out a little bit more about him. Back over to left fielders here. Griffin's not projected for the first round. Let's keep looking. Center field, Johnny Fulton and Jim Perez. Let's look at these 2 guys first. Like I said, we're going to scout the higher projected players first and then look for steals, as we are just consistently playing 500 ball right now. Simmons is looking like the real deal. All of these guys are. Let's keep scouting them for another week. All of those guys are looking good. I'm going to guess that, yeah, it's a lot of pitchers inside the first round projections this year. So we are back to 500 at 23 and 23. Okay. Kevin Simmons looks to be the guy so far. Fulton, I mean, 75% scouted, 85 for Perez. I mean, we'd go with Simmons. These guys might not be bad backup options. Let's keep looking elsewhere. But we know that Kevin Simmons might just be our top priority right now. Back over to center field. We don't know anything about Manny Diaz. Also a first-round projected player. As is Eric Noseworthy. And Greg Yang. There's a lot of center fielders projected for the first round, which is good. We need a center fielder. So not bad. All right. What do we have? All right, we can rule out Noseworthy. I'm not sold on Greg Yang, but it might be worth leaving him there for another week. I'm not sold on Yang. I think we'll take him out. Back over to center fielders. Mitch Summers. And then in right, Forrest Adams is the only guy projected to be drafted high. Joe, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. All right. Oops. So far, having the 7th overall pick, it's honestly a little bit scary. I'm not really seeing anybody. You know, we're a month out from the draft. Even Manny Diaz, I'm not convinced. We could keep looking at Summers. And we could keep looking here. Swain, what's going on? Thank you for the 19 months. I'm enjoying it a lot. Franchise mode's fun. Diamond Dynasty is a beautiful grind in the best way possible. Still having a blast for the show. I'm enjoying the game a lot. I haven't even gotten to the storylines yet, and I can't wait to get to those because I've heard nothing but great things. Let's keep looking at Summers and Adams as we look at one more right fielder. No, maybe not because we're out of those top projections. I'm going to go with Centauri. P. Centauri. Let me know if I'm wrong. Thank you for the follow, though. I appreciate you. All right, so in right, it's not looking that good in terms of high projections. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Starting pitching, that's where it's at for high projections. And again, we have to do our due diligence and look. We have to do our due diligence and look. Even if it's not our top priority, it's a 7th overall pick. We have to deliver. We have to hit on this pick. We're 27 days out from the drafts. It does show Summers' draft rank as 10th. But I don't know. Oh, Darren. Look at Darren Hope. Oh, my God. If that guy falls to us. If that guy falls to us, we'd have to. I think we can avoid the rest of the outfielders. I think we have a pretty good idea of how good Darren Hope is. Let's keep looking at pitchers. It just doesn't look like the year for us to focus on need. It looks like the year to just focus on best available. So, let's keep looking. And it might be best guessing from the second round onward. It's another good year for pitchers here. Ford Span. Looking like a beast. Ivan Ojeda's not looking that bad. I need to keep looking at Earl Littleton. The other two, over 60% I'm okay with. Actually. Let's see, who else? Ricky Dunlap projected for the first round. Stuart Clayton. Yeah, most of these guys are projected for the first round. Again, beggars can't be choosers. I can't magically turn a position player into an elite player to draft. If we have to go with who it's showing us as the best available, then we got to go with them. I don't think we can eliminate or disqualify any of those dudes immediately. Let's get a little bit more information on Dennis Ryder. Bobby Shartner? Shartner. Bobby with an IE. Shartner. I am not mature enough to have that man on my team. I'm not mature enough to have that guy on my team. Can you imagine Shartner pitches a complete game to win the World Series? Like, come on. Yeah, I mean, first base is looking, or first base, I was going to say first and foremost, starting pitching is just looking stacked here. All right, we do know there are a lot of good pitchers. So we have a choice. But we really don't. I mean, we could look. We could look at like Mario Acevedo, Anton Ruiz, and hope that it turns out they're a steal. Or we look at those top relievers to know who we might go for in the second round. I think we got to look at the relievers to know kind of our best situation. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of guys here that are projected to be drafted very high. So, damn. Nick, what's going on? Happy birthday, Mr. Roberts. Happy birthday to you. I hope it was a good one. Oh, boy. So the draft's coming up. We're dead last in the division right now. Not last in the American League. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Chris Sale got taken out as a starting pitcher. I just don't know how to feel about this draft. Like, again, some of our biggest needs don't look like they're going to be addressed in this draft. And that's a little bit scary.